Well, we're going to move on from this. We'll talk more a little bit about it, but you got a hell of a segment coming up next.
Yeah, I want to do this one. I'm going to read you guys a little piece here. This is a takeaway from the Associated Press's reporting on the prison labor in Alabama. Hang with me. I'm going to read an article, then I'm going to show you a video. I got it from Feminine off IG, so I just want to give them credit before I do. And so it says, the Associated Press found a part of a 2-year investigation into prison labor. The cheap, reliable labor force has generated more than $250 million for the state since 2000. Money garnished from prisoners' paychecks. Most jobs are inside facilities where the state's inmates, who are disproportionately black, can be sentenced to hard labor and forced to work for free, doing everything from mopping floors to laundry. But in the past 5 years alone, more than 10,000 inmates have logged a combined 17 million work hours outside Alabama's prison walls. For entities like city, country government, businesses that range from major car parts manufacturers, meat processors, Burger King, McDonald's, plants to distribution centers, and major retailers like Walmart, the AP has found. While those working at private companies can at least earn a little money, they face possible punishment if they refuse, from being denied a family visit to being sent to a high-security prison, which are so dangerous that the federal government filed a lawsuit 4 years ago that remains pending, calling the treatment of prisoners unconstitutional. Turning down work can jeopardize chances of early release in the state. The last year granted parolee to only released in the state that last year granted parolees to only 8% of eligible prisoners. Wow. An all-time low and among the worst rates nationwide. Though that number's more than doubled this year after public outcry.
Wow, 8%, man. And they're going to sit back. Remember the sheriff who came out and said he doesn't want to release any more prisoners because what are they going to do for workers? This is crazy, man. That video that you have, man, really tells the story. Like, I never really, you've been saying this for quite a while.
I've been saying it for a while, and most people don't understand. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to read a part of the 13th Amendment in the United States Constitution, okay? So the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides that neither slave nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Now, if you listen to the close part, it says, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. So these people are good enough to leave the jail to go work at Walmart, McDonald's, auto parts places,
and they're not
giving them parole.
And they're making millions. I want you guys to remember, this is something that whenever they talked about like prison labor, I always thought about like chain gangs. So I was like, okay, yeah, they're making like, license plates or something like that inside the prison. I didn't think about it. But I remember back in the movie, it was the Shawshank Redemption, where they were building roads and helping people do that. And the guy would come in with like pies from his wife with the money underneath, and he'd give it to the warden of the prison. And I kind of didn't cross my mind to what it really was until I saw that video and you explained it to me. When you think about it, these people are actually being paid to send prisoners out to go work. Those prisoners, they're not getting that money. The prisoners aren't getting the money. Yeah. The prisons are. They're probably paying the prisoner 15 cents an hour, maybe $1 an hour. Wow, the whole dollar. That would be top end $1. That's like high pay. That's like if you go to prison, that's like you want that job right there. But the point of it is, though, it's crazy because they do that. They put people on community service, work crews, all kinds of stuff where they're making a lot of money off these prisoners, a lot of money. And this, I mean,
and then
like
here,
when you talk about it,
everybody the video really quick, and we're going to watch it together.
Well, a lot of people are calling it modern slavery. Does that feel right?
I was just about to say that's slavery. That's slavery. You took away the whips, but you put the paperwork. Took away the masters and you put them in uniform. Same difference, same difference.
It kind of appears that there is a coordinated system in order to protect the labor that's created by the prison system.
Walk into a McDonald's in Alabama, and the worker flipping your McDouble could be an incarcerated person.
It's a sad situation, a way they getting rich off us.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC
And I just wanted to show you guys that.
Do you hear all those places they're talking about? They're sending people to go work. Imagine how much a minimum wage worker makes. They're making, I don't know, $500, $700, $1,000 a week, wherever, depending on where you live.
But they're not. That's the cool thing. They're not letting them out of jail.
And they're not
you're safe. You're safe. That's a halfway house. You're like at a halfway house at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like you go out to work and you come there and you stay the night. That's a halfway house. They're saying these people they're good enough to serve you food in case a screaming customer comes up there or something like that and yells at them. They're good enough. They can take that. They can handle that. But they're not good enough to be free. And
in reality, you're already giving that person freedom by letting them go to work every single day. They could just leave that place. If they wanted to do that, this is not to say there won't be recidivism, there won't be problems, there won't be times where a guy goes off and something bad does happen. That's life. That's a lot of times what happens to us because we're not truly
if you could make it out of Alabama, say you're one of those prisoners. You've been in jail. They're sending you out to do this. If you can make it out of Alabama and then like move to a sanctuary state and ask for sanctuary, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. If you came up to Washington and you're like, hey, I'm from Alabama.
They don't have extradition laws. It depends. If they got extradition laws, they're going to because you're in jail. They're going to extradite you back because they'll probably have, like the sheriffs or whoever else, bounty hunters come.
How are you going to put that on the news? Hey, inmate escapes. He didn't come back after his McDonald's job.
That's called escape, though. They'll still give you an escape. Yeah,
they'll still hit you with escape, but you can ask for. The same thing these immigrants are coming in asking for, you should be able to ask for that. Asylum. At this point in time, though, that's what that is. That's exactly what that would be. That would be asylum because, they're using, he said that 8%, man. They said that's the lowest out of any other state. They're saying basically, you guys, we've already freed you pretty much and already to let you go work, but you come back here and sleep every night, but you're not good enough to go out and actually be completely free. Why? Why is it though? But
money.
Yes, it's money. They're making money. And why give it up? And then also I was telling everybody, and it always runs back to the same thing. I said, this makes sense about what they're going to do with all these immigrants. Because you can't deport them all at once. You can't just dip them and ship them that quick. You're going to get a system after a couple months. Yep. Yeah, you're going to have a good system of kicking them and booting them, but that's not going to happen. They're going to take them, put them to work, make them work all them same jobs. They're going to be all in them fields picking all that fruit. They're going to be doing the corn. They're going to be doing all that shit.
Yep.
All of it.
It makes perfect sense now. When you said it before, it didn't really make sense to me until I saw that. That video explained a lot for me to fully understand.
We need some people to work in our house. And if you come work in my house, I can have the board be lenient with you and probably let you stay.
It's the same thing, or at the same time, Shawshank Redemption, same exact thing. When you look at it, what he just said, that's the same exact thing that they can do there. It's just it's a crazy time that we live in right now. This is something that we need to stay on top of because that is crazy, man. And that they have 8%, man. They're only releasing 8% of these people who they're shipping out to work on a regular basis. The guy came out and told us. So who are we going to have do the jobs and who are we going to have work? It was crazy when he said it at the press conference. Yeah. Everyone was like, you said the quiet part out loud. But in reality, he don't care.
He said it back then, but that shows our power because we ain't got nothing to say about it.
Absolutely.
We got all these southern states full of black folks. Look at Mississippi. It's the one state with the most black people in it.
Yep, by far.
Most black people in it.
Yep. So right now.
What is we doing?
Yeah.
What is we doing?
We arguing about stupid stuff. We're watching stuff online. It doesn't make sense. We know what we're doing.
What is for real? Yeah, just keep throwing it in the back of our minds. It'll get better. No, it won't.
Not until we change it ourselves. Period. Plain and simple. But